book can take you anywhere. Turn the pages and you'll be there. Come on, join us, you'll see. We're reading with Carylee.
Hi, friends, and thanks for joining me for another Read with Carylee, where we have authors coming in from around the world, maybe across the United States, or maybe even down your street. And I'm so glad to have with us today author Ken Harvey, and he is the author of The Me That Needs to Be. Now, Ken, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I am very intrigued about the me that needs to be. But before we even get into that, you know, all our authors are so awesome, and we don't want any of our friends to miss them. So make sure you hit subscribe and ring that bell so that you don't miss a thing. Now, Ken, we know that we have authors from all around the world coming in to read with us. Could you tell us where you're reading to us from today?
Sure. I'm reading from my home. I'm in Ashburn, Virginia, so just nearby.
Okay, yes, you are very close to where
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
here. We're all in Northern Virginia, and we're so glad that you took the time to be able to come and Zoom in with us today.
Not a problem.
So, without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to you and let you jump right into the story with The Me That Needs to Be.
All right, here we go. The me that needs to be. And so the book starts off. It says, "Hi, my name is Ken, and I used to play football." It says, I've had a lot of success in my life, but I didn't always make great decisions about money. So if I could go back in time, I would teach my younger self about how to manage money. I'd give my younger self some money and ask, what would you do with this money? Because when I was young, I used to spend and spend and spend and spend all my money all the time. I would buy all the shoes I wanted. I would buy all the food I wanted. I would buy the car I wanted. I would buy video games. But wait, I would say to my younger self, don't spend all your money. You need to learn how to make a budget. What's a budget? My younger self would ask. A budget is a plan for saving and spending your money. I would answer, you shouldn't spend all your money. You shouldn't spend all of your money at once, even though you want to. Every time you get some money, you should make a plan to divide into each of these buckets. Save some money, spend some money, and give some money away. This is a good plan to follow. Put your saved money into a savings account at a credit union or a bank. This will keep it safe for you and make sure that it's there when you need it. And then you don't touch your saved money until you need it for something big, like a house. Or you can use the saved money to go back to school, or you can use it to buy a car when you get older. That's what's great about saving your money. It's there when you need it. Then you can put some money in your spend jar. This is the money that you can spend on whatever you want, but you have to decide what is a need and what is a want. A need is something that you need to survive, like food or water. If you have shoes with a big hole, a need would be a new pair of shoes. And a want would be the newest video game. It would be nice to have a new video game, but you can live without it. You have to decide what is more important and then spend your money on that thing. Maybe you can choose to save for the other thing later. The last jar is a gift jar. This jar is for you to put aside money so that you can help others or give to a church or a community organization. The gift jar reminds you that everyone needs help sometime and that you can make a big difference in somebody's life with the money in your gift jar. That's all cool, but how do I earn money? That's a good question, little Ken. You can work and earn money by doing things like mowing lawns, babysitting, walking dogs. You can also get a job after you graduate from school. There are lots of ways to make money. So does that make sense, little Ken? Yes, it does. Thanks for teaching me about budgeting. Great. Now I'll go and check on the older you and see if you got it. Hello, football player Ken. Wow, you look like you're pretty successful. So did you save your money like I taught you? Well, look, I'm a superstar. I don't need to save. Are you sure, football player Ken? What if you get hurt? What if you hadn't made it to the pros? Then what? Saving money is important so that it's there for you just in case. I have a gift for you. What is it? Oh man, not again. Yes, again. These jars are important to use when you're young, and they're just as important when you get older. You can start using your save, spend, and give jar anytime. Now, I'll go check on the older Ken to see what you've learned. Hello, older Ken. Hello, I was expecting you. I have something that I would like to show you. Do you recognize my money? These are the jars that I use. I still have them, and I also have the money saved from my savings account. I am also proud that I was able to give money away and help others. I also still like to have fun and spend my money on wants. I even bought myself these new shoes. Wow, good for you. I'm glad that my lesson helped you, and I'm proud that you have become the me that needs to be. The end. And then on the last page of the book, I have a page that has my name is, and you put your name there, and you say, I promise to become the me that needs to be. And that's the book.
With Carylee.
All right. So that is a great book that that is the first financial literacy book that we've had on Read with Carylee.
Nice.
And it's definitely important for our children to be able to learn lessons like that. So you said in the beginning a little bit about why you wrote this book, but is there anything specific for young people that you really wanted to drive home to them with this?
Yeah, there are a couple of things. So one, money is it's being confident in what you have, confident in how to make it, confident in how to keep it, confident in learning how to say no to some things, learning how to say no. So when you get it, it's about practice. And the more you practice it, the better you become. But there are a lot of things that we haven't been told. So you may have one kid and his parents go to the bank and they'll teach him things about finance, or he'll watch them and they work from their jobs and stuff. And so they'll get an education without even realizing it. But there are other people who at times, your whole life is living paycheck to paycheck. You're trying to deal with things. And so you never understand about how to save or how to spend because it's never been a part of your life. And so for me, it's in my life, it was never really a part of my life about knowing how to say no to people. I wanted to help everybody, knowing how to say no to things, because, once you get some money, you want everything or you want to give it away to people. It's an emotional IQ. And so I think it's important for kids to get in the habit, one, of learning how to save, spend, and give, to learn how to be confident, because the more you do it, the more you become confident that it's your money and you have control. So even if you talk to a financial planner or you talk to a bank or whatever, understand it's your money and you want the best deal to make your money to grow. And so I think it's important lessons, but more so than anything, I also wanted parents, a parent, whoever, to be able to have the ability to sit with their child and read this or talk to them about it, because it can be generational blessings or generational curses. And what you want as a generational blessing is that you want to be able to talk to your kids about it so that they start feeling like they're financially educated, and then they'll talk to their kids about it. And then you have generational wealth. And so those are kind of the big pictures. Also on my side, you learn from your mistakes, but you don't call it a mistake necessarily. For me, I was depressed. I had a lot of money, and I unfortunately lost a lot of money. And so you get depressed and you say, God, what happened? And that could just be a cycle of going downhill. But if you stop looking at it as a mistake and say, okay, what can I learn from that? What are the situations? What are the things that I can do so that if that situation turns around or something else happens, what do I need to do so that I don't repeat the same mistake again. And so hopefully you learn from it. So you don't call it a mistake, you call it a teaching lesson that you can grow and
Yes.
learn from. And so my life, I think God's been giving me the ability to hopefully teach in some ways. And so, I've written children's book. My first children's book was for my two boys. And so here's another one, but it's a gift to use to hopefully teach somebody, and so that they may not experience, or they'll walk into any situation with that confidence saying, you know what, I'm going to make money, I'm going to save money, I'm going to spend money, I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to spend all my life trying to save money and not have fun, but I'm
Yes.
going to learn how to balance it, and then hopefully enjoy what I have.
Okay.
Is that
Well, you said that you were a former football player. How did you make the jump from playing football to writing children's books?
so? When it first started, this was this is 20 some years ago.
Mhm.
I had two boys, and one was 6 and 4 at the time. And one son came to me, and he started talking about this show on TV, and if you win, you get to be one of the characters. But he said there were no brown characters, and so I
Mm.
was like, man, I want my kids to see themselves as a character, but I want any kid to see themselves as that character, but I want my boys to know it's them. And
Yes.
so at the time, I wrote the book. It was, simple book. It's like hide and seek. A friend of mine who was playing on the team with me, a guy named Terry Crews, who's the actor on TV and Hollywood, and does a lot of stuff.
Okay.
He did all the artwork, and so we did this book 21 years ago, and then we
Wow.
republished it a couple 2 years ago, and so that's actually that book there. And
Okay.
Terry did all the artwork for it. And so that was kind of the start. And then you just realize that it's not so much about how many books you sell or whatever, but it's if one kid reads it and they say, wow, this is me, subliminal message. Or they say, wow,
Mhm.
I want to create a jar and save, spend, and give jar. Man, then everything I'm doing is worthwhile. So that was kind of the start of writing children's books. And I think, as most athletes, if you have kids, you just want the
Mhm.
best for your kids, right? And the book was the start of that.
Absolutely. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what team you played for. I'm not a football person, but with our children, they want to connect with, you know,
Yeah,
there's
no,
this
I
author.
I got it, and it's
Yeah.
I take no insult with you not knowing who I am. I will talk to you offline, but anyhow, I used to play with the Washington football team. So
Okay.
that's a football card, and I also play with the Cardinals. So that's the Arizona Cardinals and
Oh,
the Washington football team. And so I played with those teams. I got a bunch of cards. Um,
okay.
I played with those two teams. I played, a lot of years. I played 11 years. I went to the Pro Bowl, which is the Pro Bowl is where they say you are the best player in the whole league at playing your position. And
Oh,
so I
okay.
went to the Pro Bowl 4 times. So four
Wow.
times the whole league, the players, the reporters all thought that I was the best player in that position four
That's
times. So it's
awesome.
pretty exciting.
That's awesome. So for all you football fans that are out there, you got to look at Mr. Ken Harvey. And so before we wrap up, I always ask my authors this, what book did you have growing up that inspired you?
You know, it wasn't so much a book. So I was a big Twilight Zone fan.
Okay.
And so I always kind of thought of the what if. And that's kind of, some of the things is like, how do you write something that's not that point the finger in someone's face, but say, oh, this is a good story, and then it affects your life. There were
Hmm.
some books that I read. I don't remember the name of it. There was one book I used to read, like Greek mythology. You know, wanted to be Greek mythology, the superhero.
Yeah.
Before superheroes, I used to read the comic books. And then there was one book that was kind of a Dungeons and Dragons, and it was about these two warriors that there were twin brothers, and one was a wizard and one was was just a strong guy, and how they were having to go through their own inner things. And I don't remember the title. I've been trying to search for that book, but that book affected me because it was kind of like, wow, this is fantasy, but it took my mind and my world to a whole new place. And that's the power of books, right? You can sit in your room, but you could be in a whole new place, a whole new world, a whole new situation. You could find out all about me in maybe 100 pages, whereas you don't have to spend 55 years of your life trying to figure out who I am. 55, you know, in 100 pages, you can say, oh, I understand a little bit about him. And so that's kind of the power of books.
Yes, that is awesome. And, you know, there are just so many books that you can be inspired by. And I know that children will be inspired by your book to be able to teach them financial literacy and open up a new world for them so that they don't, you know, make some of the, they don't have to learn the hard
Right.
way.
The learn
as,
lessons the hard
as
way.
some of us have.
I will say this, and it's never too late. So, you know, I know this is children, but it's never too late. So the actor, Terry Crews, when he stopped playing football, he moved to California, but he used to say every day he would go to the library, and because free books, right? People forget about the library sometimes, and he would read books on how to get better, how to better himself, how to do different things. And so you read some of these books, and he would do it every day trying to get better. So now he's a success in Hollywood, and people are like, oh, it's automatic, but they never saw that side where he was constantly trying to improve himself. I'm reading a book now. This is a huge book. And so, you know, I'm reading it, just trying to improve on myself, because it's never too late. You're never too old or never too young to get in the habit of reading.
Oh, well, we are getting a whole lot of knowledge and nuggets from you today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I thank you so much for joining us today and for, you know, this conversation and helping children to build themselves, you know, even just starting as young as they are to be able to learn about financial literacy. It's not something that we often get taught at, you know, at that level or on that age. And it's so great that you took the time to write this book. So thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And friends, thank you so much for joining us for another Read with Carylee. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe so that you don't miss another author that is coming your way. Again, thank you for joining us. And always remember to grab a book and read. Have a great day. Thanks for watching another amazing episode of the Read with Carylee Show. We have amazing authors coming by every week. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. You don't want to miss a thing.